So hello class 8 students, welcome everyone. So from this video, we'll be starting a new chapter from your NCERT class 8 science book, that is chapter number 11, force and pressure. So let's begin then. First of all, we'll see the introductory part of the chapter. Okay. In class 7, you have learned how objects move. Do you recall how we can decide whether an object is moving faster than the other? What does the distance moved by an object in unit time indicate? What is asked here? What is the distance moved by an object in unit time indicate? Okay, what is distance by time? What is distance by time? Distance by time is known as what? Speed. Remember, the formula of speed is what? Speed is equal to distance by time. So the distance moved by an object in unit time indicates speed. Okay, so how we can decide whether the object is moving faster or not? We can decide by seeing or looking at the speed of the moving object. Okay, which of the object is moving faster or which of the object is moving slower. Okay, by seeing or by looking at the speed of the moving object. Okay. You also know that a moving object like a ball rolling on the ground slows down, right? So initially when we hit the ball will begin to move at a very high speed, but after some time the ball will slow down. Okay, that means the speed of the ball will be reduced. Sometimes it may change its direction of motion, right? If we hit a ball, the direction of motion of the ball can also be changed. It is also possible that the ball may slow down and also change its direction after some time. Okay, so did you ever wonder what makes an object to slow down or go faster or change its direction of motion? Did you ever wonder? So initially when we hit the ball or when we kick the ball, we are applying what? We are applying force. Okay, we are applying what? Force. So this is the force only which makes an object to go slow or go fast, or it is the force only that makes the object to change its direction of motion. Okay, so let us recall some of our everyday experiences. What do you do to make a football move? We generally hit it, right? We generally kick the ball. That means we apply force. What do you do to make a moving ball move faster? Again, if a ball is moving initially with a slow, that means initially when the ball is moving slow, then how can we move it faster? We generally hit it, right? We generally kick with very hard. That means we are applying a large force on the ball. How does the goalkeeper stop a ball? Again, in this picture you can see a goalkeeper saving a ball. Okay, in figure A. So that means he is applying force in the opposite direction, right? Where the ball is moving, the goalkeeper is applying force in the opposite direction. Then only he can stop the ball. Okay, in the same way, how do fielders stop a ball hit by a batsman? In figure C you can see, in figure C you see, figure 11.1c, a fielder stopping a ball, right? Again, he is applying force. Okay, the ball is moving in a particular direction, but he is sitting and applying force in the ground in the opposite direction to the motion of the ball. In that way only he can stop the ball. In figure B you see a hockey player changes the direction of the moving ball with a flick of the stick, right? So again, the hockey player has to apply force with the help of the stick, right? So that means he or she is flicking the ball, right, by the stick. That means he is applying a force. Okay, so in all these situations the ball is either made to move faster or the ball is either made to move slower, or the ball is either made to change its direction of motion. Understood? So we often say that a force has been applied on a ball when it is kicked, pushed, thrown or flicked. What is the term used? Force. Okay, F-O-R-C-E. So when we kick a ball, when we push a ball or any other object, when we throw a ball or any other object, when we throw or when we flick, then what we are applying? We are applying force. So what is a force? What can it do to bodies on which it is applied? We shall seek answers to such questions in this chapter. Understood? So this is the introductory part of the chapter, that is force and pressure. Okay, so we are going to study a lot of things. So let's begin with the first topic of the chapter, that is force, a push or a pull. So actions like picking, opening, shutting, kicking, hitting, lifting, flicking, pushing, pulling are often used to describe certain tasks. Okay, so each of these actions usually results in some kind of change in the motion of an object. When we pick something, when we pick an object, when we open a door, or when we shut a door, when we kick a ball, when we hit a ball, when we lift any object, when we flick a ball, when we push some objects, okay, when we pull the drawer or something, then these actions results in what? Some kind of change in the motion of the object. So can these terms be replaced with one or more terms? Let us find out. Okay, now let us see this activity 11.1. So table 11.1 gives some examples of familiar situations involving motion of objects. You can add more such situations or replace those given here. Try to identify action involved in each case as a push and or a pull, and record your observations. One example has been given to help you. So table 11.1, identifying actions as push or pull. Okay, so some of the description of the situation is given, just like one is being done for us. So moving a book placed on a table. So what is the action involved in moving a book placed on a table? Actions like pushing, pulling, picking, hitting, lifting, lowering, flying, kicking, throwing, shutting, and flicking is given to you. The actions involved in moving a book placed on a table is or are pushing, pulling, lifting. Okay, we have to push the book placed on a table so as to move it, right? We can pull the book placed on the table so as to move it, right? Similarly, we can lift the book so that we can move the book from the table. Okay, so what are the actions grouped as here in this situation? Push or pull? Yes, push is involved in this action, right? Push is involved. Pull is also involved, right? So here it is written yes and yes for push and for pull. Similarly, the second action or the second situation is given to us, like say opening or shutting a door. So that means when we open a door, when we open or shut a door, when we open a door, first of all we need to do what? We need to pull it, right? We need to pull it. So I will write it over here and for this. Okay, you can write in this box, or you can write in this box, or you can write in this box also. There are 4 boxes are given to you so that we can write the actions involved in this situation. So we can write what? Pulling. Okay, to open a door we can pull the door. Okay, similarly to shut a door we have to push the door. So I will write it over here, pushing. Okay, in any of the 4 boxes you can write, right? And we can also write shutting, right? Generally we are doing what? We are shutting the door, so it is involved in this. Okay, shutting the door. So actions can be grouped as push is involved here, yes. So yes, we can write for push, and yes, we can write for pull also. Okay, both for push and for pull we can write yes in this box and in this box. Okay, understood? Similarly, drawing a bucket of water from a well. When we draw a bucket of water from a well, we have to do what? We have to pull it, right? So in any of the box we can write first of all pulling. Understood? Similarly, we can write lifting also, because generally we do what? We generally lift a bucket of water from the well. So we can write lifting also. Understood? Actions can be grouped as push or pull. See, in this situation, pushing is involved or not? No, pushing is not involved, so we can write no in this box. Okay, but pulling is involved, right? So we can write yes in this box. Understood? Then situation number 4, a football player taking a penalty kick. So when a football player takes a penalty kick, generally he or she does what? He or she has to kick the ball, right? That means we need to write kick or say kicking. Okay, in any of the 4 boxes we can write kicking. Okay, similarly we can write hitting also. Using our foot we can hit the ball also, right? So yes, so in this situation you see action can be grouped as push or pull. Generally when we hit a football, okay, when we hit a football or when we kick a football, which action is involved here? Pushing or pulling? Generally it is what? Pushing. So we can write yes over here. Understood? And pulling is not involved, so we can write no over here. Clear? Situation number 5, a cricket ball hit by a batsman. When a cricket ball is being hit by a batsman, what is the action involved? Yes, hitting, right? Hitting, and we can write flicking also. Okay, we can write flicking also. So action can be grouped as what? Push, pull. What can you write? We can write push. We're using our bat. We are generally what doing? We are generally pushing the ball, right? And pulling is not involved here, so we can write no over here. Clear? Similarly, situation number 6, moving a loaded cart. So when we move a cart which is loaded, we are generally doing, we have to push it, right? We have to pushing, or we have to pull also, so as to move the loaded cart, right? We can write pushing or pulling. Clear? We can also write lifting. Okay, lifting. Okay, then the actions can be grouped as push, pull. Both pushing and pulling is involved, so we can write yes and yes. Clear? Situation number 6, opening a drawer. Opening a drawer. So generally when we open a drawer, we generally do what? We do pulling. Okay, and pushing is not involved here, so no we can write in this box, and yes we can write for the pull box. Clear? So this completes your table 11.1, and you can note these things with your pencil in the book. Okay, so do you notice each of the actions can be grouped as a pull or a push or both? Yes, we have noticed, right? So can we infer from this that to move an object, it has to be pushed or pulled? So as to move an object, we generally have to push, or we generally have to pull the object. Okay, so as to move the object. So in science, a push or a pull on an object is called a force. Understood? Force is what? Simply in science we define it as a push or a pull. So thus we can say that the motion imparted to objects was due to the action of a force. So as to move an object, we generally have to impart what? We have to apply force to the object, so that the object can be moved from one place to another. So when does a force come into play? Let us find out. Okay, so this completes the introductory part of the chapter force and pressure, and the first topic, that is force, a push or a pull, is also completed. So how force come into play, we will cover in the next video. Okay, that is forces are due to an interaction. From there we will start the video in the next day or in the next class. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.